girl. Try to picture the girl through a looking glass and see her as a carbon atom. See her eyes and stare back at them. See that girl as her own new world. Though her home is on the surface, she is still a universe. Glory God or goddess peeking through the blinds. Are we all here standing naked, taking guesses at the actual date and time? Oh my, justifying reasons why is an absolutely insane resolution to live by. Live high, live mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy, live high, live mighty, live righteously. And try to picture the man to always have an open hand and see him as a giving tree. See him as matter, a matter of fact, he's not a beast. No, not the devil either, always a good deed doer. And it's laughter that we're making after all. The call of the wild is still in order nationwide. In the order of the primates, all our politics are too late. Oh my, the congregation in my mind is this assembly singing of gratitude, practicing their loving for you. Live high, live mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy, live high, live mighty, live righteously. Sing it out and just take it easy and celebrate the malleable reality. You see, nothing is ever as it seems. Yeah, this life is but a dream. Lift me up to the Almighty. Raise your hands and start acknowledging if you're living it righteously, then you're living the easy way. Live high, live mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy, live high, live mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy.
Woo-hoo! Jessica Pryor. Awesome, honey. That was lovely. Perfect. And it's a hard song. You did really excellent with it. Yeah. No, really beautiful. And just really going. Yeah. How about that? Yes. Live high. That's right, because life is malleable, isn't it? And so today we're talking about claiming your own ascension. And I picked it because on the liturgical calendar, today is known as Ascension Sunday. The liturgical calendar basically lists different holy holidays. So when you think of the Ascension Sunday, you may have this picture in mind, right? And it's about Jesus ascending into heaven. It happens 40 days after Easter. And if you're like me, you may count the apostles to see, are there 11 or 12? What did the do on this one? Is it 11 or 12? Because we know Judas isn't there and Matthias didn't come in yet. So what number is it? It may just be me. So where do we get this concept from? We get it from the Bible, right, in the New Testament. And specifically, we get it from Acts. Now, supposedly, the theologians, I was like, is it theology? No. Theologians have decided that it's most likely that the same author that wrote Luke, Acts. And Acts is seen as like the second volume. What's interesting about Acts is that it's a bridge from the Gospels into Paul's letters. Because in Acts, what it does is it describes the beginning of the Christian church. And one of the things that it describes right after Jesus' resurrection is the apostles watching him ascend. So it comes from Acts chapter 1, verses 8 and 9. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witness in Jerusalem, in all Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. When he had said this, as they were watching, he was lifted up, and a cloud took him out of their sight. Now, when we look at this from a metaphysical perspective, we can see when we're talking about the Holy Spirit, that's really seen as a second baptism, a baptism of fire and power. What's the first baptism? Water, right? So there's two ways that we know that we cleanse. One is through purification of water and purification of fire. So this is considered the second baptism. Jerusalem is defined by Charles Fillmore as the spiritual consciousness that is united with the divine, united with Christ. That's how it's defined by. So when we look at it from that perspective, it makes a little bit more sense. But there are people that see Jesus' resurrection and ascension as a literal interpretation. There's this author whose name is Brandon Withrow. Yeah, there's no N in there. I double-checked. Because I said my congregation is going to go, you missed the N! No. He wrote this article that's entitled Science and the Ups and Downs of Christ's Ascension. And he quotes this: many modern Christians who read the accounts of the ascension and predictions of Christ's return in literal terms are actually the universe like ancient peoples. Perhaps there is an unacknowledged disconnect. Maybe contemporary Christians do not imagine a firmament above since they are aware of space and galaxies. But when it comes to how they describe Christ's ascension and return, they are absolutely ancient. That's possible. Quite possible. One of the things that we in Unity look at is we look at the Bible as an interpretation of consciousness, of evolution. So when we look at man's evolution in the early days, they figured that we wouldn't get downpours of rain because there was a dome, a firmament that was protecting us. And then we realized that's not necessarily so. And then we had that time where it was flat. And then we grew and we realized, no, that's not true either. And then there was a time when we thought that everything revolved around the earth. And then, not necessarily so. So there's an evolution as we awaken, as we learn, as we gain wisdom in what becomes truth. Is it possible that we can also have an evolution of what God is, of how we see? I believe that that is the case. I believe that what I believe and know is today may not be truth a year or down the road for me, because I believe that my consciousness is expanding. Because that's the way that I see that we can grow in our spirituality. is through expansion of our consciousness. So Charles Fillmore talks about ascension. Charles Fillmore, if you don't know, is one of our co-founders of the Unity Movement, he and his wife Myrtle. And he says ascension is this. Basically, it's a progressive movement, the animal to the spiritual. He also sees this as 3 stages, moving from the animal to the mental and physical, and then moving to the spiritual. Now, we all have seen the science books and where we move from the animal to the physical, right? That's been proven. Hopefully, people are nodding. All right. Awesome. Thank you. I got it. And we've also seen that our capacity for knowledge and intellect has also grown and evolved. And I believe that right now, what we are doing as mankind, humanity, is we are shifting spiritually consciousness now. That's what we're doing this right now. So that's all a good thing. But what does that mean for you? It means that you have the power to claim your own ascension. And that I know to do that is through expanding your consciousness. And an easy way for you to remember how to do that is think of the letters A-W-E, awe. So the first one is about allowing. Sometimes when we get into the spiritual realm, what we get into this, I don't have to feel because I'm so enlightened and spiritual that I don't have feelings any longer. Well, sorry, not so true. The reality is we're here also as humans. Our feelings help us to learn. We get lessons through feelings. We get to figure out what's working and not working for us through feelings. We get to know whether I need to go left or I need to go right through our feelings and our awareness. So it's not something that you want to shut off or should all over. I should not be feeling this way as a spiritual being. I don't think so. Feel. Feel what you feel. Also, accept what is. The acceptance that whatever is happening right now, in this moment, is for your highest good. Whether you can believe it right now, in this finite moment. If you're able to come up higher, you'll be able to see it in the long term. So, for example, you know that I was married previously. And the day that we separated, it was like the worst day of my life. So I thought, how could I go on? So I thought. What a rat think? So I thought. Maybe still a little bit. No. The best thing that happened to me was us separating. The best thing that ever happened to me. So much. I became who I am today, as opposed to trying to please and behavior. I have an amazing spouse and partner who I never thought I could have. Amazing thing when we accept what is and are able to hold that knowing that the universe is for us, not against us. And the last one, breathing. Breathing. And when I say breathing, I'm talking about taking the time to be with yourself, to breathe, to meditate, to pray, to just lay like broccoli, right? All of that is important. It's important because it disconnects us from the culture of what they say we should be doing now and allows time to find our centeredness, our truth, our connection to source. So, in that all you have to do is be fab. Feel, accept, breathe. Okay. All right, next one. Why is it not going? Can you go for me? Yay! Wonder! Wonder! Wonder in the what is. Right now in our society, there's a lot of division. There's a lot of that man, who is whoever he is, how could he? That person voted for that man, and they're obviously da-da-da-da. What if you stood in the wonder of that? And with the individual that you have that conversation with, the wonder is, well, what made you decide to vote that way? What is it that you see there? As opposed to the judgment. There are unity ministers, my friend, who have voted Republican. That's just who they are. They've always done that. Do I think they're racist? Do I think that they're ready to join the KKK? No, I don't. You know, in their deepest sense of truth, they believe that make America great again is what this person is about. That's okay. It is okay for us to be in the wonder of that moment, as opposed to being divisive and separate. Because divisive and separate gets us nowhere. It just creates more and more animosity. With me? And then the last one is expressing. Expressing the divine ideas. What are divine ideas, do you think? Love, kindness, right? Compassion, seeing that person as equal and of value as you are, they are. No difference. Divine ideas. And so this is what I'm suggesting to take on board this week. To look at how can you expand your consciousness and become the Wonder Woman or the Superman, right? It's yours. The power is yours. That's right, Emmett. Power is yours. So after service today, I have these cards made up so that you can see them and hold them for claiming your own ascension. How do you be in the awe? How do you be in that acceptance? So this week, this is your practice. If you choose to accept the mission, it's your practice. Jessica, can I invite Jessica's for meditation? I appreciate it. I see your power. I see your holiness. Be it.